I'm Margaret Chen, 78 years old, and 6 months ago, my nephew Daniel convinced me to donate my entire life savings of $340,000 to his charity for homeless veterans. He showed me a beautiful website, testimonials from grateful families, and tax documents proving it was legitimate. I wrote him a check for everything I had. Then I discovered the charity didn't exist. Daniel had stolen everything and left me broke. He thought an old Chinese woman wouldn't understand technology or know how to fight back. He was wrong. I'm a retired cybersecurity analyst who worked for the Department of Defense for 35 years. This is how I tracked him down, exposed his scam, and got him 15 years in federal prison. Subscribe now. Hit that bell for more revenge stories. My name is Margaret Chen. I'm 78 years old, a widow, and a retired cybersecurity analyst. 6 months ago, I lost my entire life savings to what I thought was a legitimate charity. The person who stole it was my own nephew, Daniel Chen. Daniel is my late brother's son. He's 42, never held a steady job, and has always been what my mother called financially creative. Over the years, he'd tried various business schemes, cryptocurrency trading, dropshipping stores, multi-level marketing. Nothing ever worked out. When Daniel called me last year, he sounded different, mature, serious. Aunt Margaret, I've finally found my purpose. I started a charity called Heroes Home Foundation that helps homeless veterans get housing and job training. I've helped 50 families already. I was impressed. Daniel had finally grown up and was doing something meaningful. That's wonderful, Daniel. How can I help? We're expanding to 5 new cities, but we need funding. If you could donate, even a small amount would help veterans in need. I wanted to help. I'm a veteran myself. I served in the Army before joining the Department of Defense as a civilian cybersecurity analyst. Helping other veterans felt right. Daniel showed me the Heroes Home Foundation website. It looked professional with photos of smiling veteran families, testimonials about how the charity changed their lives, and detailed financial reports showing exactly how donations were used. Everything seemed legitimate. Daniel, this is impressive. You've really built something special. Thanks, Aunt Margaret. Your support would mean everything. I donated $5,000 initially. Daniel sent me a thank you letter and a tax receipt. He called to tell me how my donation helped a homeless Marine get an apartment and job training. I felt good about helping. 2 months later, Daniel called again. Aunt Margaret, we have an incredible opportunity. A major donor will match any contributions dollar for dollar, but only if we raise $300,000 by the end of the month. This could help hundreds of veteran families. That's a lot of money, Daniel. I know, but imagine the impact. Every dollar you give becomes $2 of help for veterans. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I thought about it carefully. I had $340,000 in savings, everything I'd accumulated over 40 years of government work. If I donated it and Daniel's charity doubled it through the matching program, that would be $680,000 to help veterans. Daniel, I want to donate my entire savings, $340,000, but I need to be absolutely sure this is legitimate. Of course, I'll send you all our tax documents, our 501c3 certification, and financial audits. Everything is completely transparent. Daniel sent me documents that looked official. IRS letters confirming tax-exempt status, financial statements audited by a legitimate accounting firm, testimonials from city officials praising the charity's work. Everything checked out. I wrote Daniel a check for $340,000. It was everything I had, but I believed I was helping veterans who'd served our country. Daniel deposited the check immediately. He called to thank me. Aunt Margaret, you're a hero. This donation will change hundreds of lives. Then Daniel disappeared. His phone went to voicemail. His emails bounced back. The Heroes Home Foundation website went offline. I panicked. Something was wrong. I called the accounting firm listed on the financial documents. They'd never heard of Heroes Home Foundation. I checked the IRS database for registered charities. Heroes Home Foundation didn't exist. Daniel had stolen my entire life savings. I was devastated. At 78 years old, I had nothing left. No savings, no retirement cushion, nothing. Daniel had taken everything and vanished. But Daniel made one critical mistake. He thought I was just a confused old woman who didn't understand technology. What Daniel didn't know was that I spent 35 years as a cybersecurity analyst for the Department of Defense. I tracked hackers, traced digital footprints, and investigated cybercrimes for the government. I wasn't going to let Daniel disappear with my money. I started investigating. Daniel had covered his tracks well. The website was registered through an anonymous domain service. The email addresses were fake. The phone number was a burner. But everyone makes mistakes when they think they're safe. I found Daniel's mistake in the website's metadata. When he created the fake charity website, he uploaded photos that still contained their original XIF data, digital information embedded in image files that shows when and where photos were taken. One photo showed a grateful veteran family that Daniel claimed his charity had helped. The XIF data revealed the photo was taken at a luxury resort in Bali 2 months earlier. Daniel wasn't helping homeless veterans. He was living in luxury resorts using stolen money. I traced the photo's location data and found Daniel's social media accounts. He'd been posting vacation photos from Bali, Thailand, and Singapore, all taken after he stole my money. He was traveling the world on my life savings while pretending to be missing. I documented everything: the fake charity website, the fraudulent tax documents, Daniel's vacation photos with timestamps proving he was spending stolen money, and the EXIF data showing he'd fabricated the entire charity operation. I took everything to the FBI. The agent I met with was skeptical at first. "Ma'am, charity fraud cases are hard to prove, especially when the suspect has disappeared overseas." "I have his exact location," I said, showing Daniel's social media posts with geolocation data. "He's at the Ritz-Carlton in Bangkok right now. He posted a photo from the pool 30 minutes ago." The agent was impressed. "How did you find all this?" "I'm a retired Department of Defense cybersecurity analyst. I tracked hackers for 35 years. My nephew is an amateur. The FBI worked with Thai authorities to arrest Daniel at his hotel in Bangkok. They found $287,000 of my money still in his accounts. He'd already spent $53,000 on luxury travel. Daniel was extradited back to the United States and charged with wire fraud, mail fraud, and elder financial exploitation. The evidence was overwhelming. The fake website, the fabricated documents, the vacation photos taken with stolen money, everything proved Daniel had created an elaborate scam specifically to steal from his elderly aunt. Daniel's lawyer tried to claim it was a misunderstanding. My client genuinely intended to start a charity. He just got overwhelmed and made mistakes. The prosecutor destroyed that defense. Daniel Chen created fake IRS documents, fabricated financial audits, and stole his 78-year-old aunt's entire life savings. Then he immediately fled to luxury resorts overseas. This wasn't a mistake. This was calculated elder abuse. I testified at Daniel's trial. Daniel knew I was a veteran. He knew I wanted to help other veterans. He created a fake charity specifically designed to exploit my compassion and steal everything I'd worked 40 years to save. He thought my age made me an easy target. He forgot I spent 35 years catching criminals smarter than him. The jury convicted Daniel on all charges. The judge sentenced him to 15 years in federal prison. "Mr. Chen, you targeted your own elderly aunt with an elaborate fraud scheme. You stole her entire life savings and left her destitute at 78 years old. You are a danger to vulnerable people." 15 years in federal prison. The court ordered Daniel to pay full restitution. I got back the $287,000 that was still in his accounts. The remaining $53,000 will be paid through garnished prison wages and asset seizures after his release. Daniel is now 3 years into his 15-year sentence. He tried to appeal, claiming the sentence was excessive. The appeal was denied. I'm 81 now. I have most of my savings back. I live comfortably and carefully. I volunteer with a seniors advocacy group teaching elderly people how to recognize financial scams. Family members commit elder financial abuse more often than strangers, I tell audiences. They exploit trust and emotional connections, but age doesn't mean helpless. I'm 81 and I have 35 years of cybersecurity experience. My nephew learned that the hard way. Daniel will be released when he's 57. He'll have a felony record, no career prospects, and an aunt who used Department of Defense cybersecurity skills to put him in prison. People ask if I regret turning in my own nephew. The answer is no. Daniel stole my entire life savings and tried to leave me broke at 78. He deserves every day of that sentence. I'm Margaret Chen. I'm 81 years old. I'm a retired Department of Defense cybersecurity analyst, and I'm a woman who fought back when her own family tried to destroy her. Daniel thought my age made me vulnerable. He learned that age brings expertise, and expertise is power. The end.